questions from the media, which I'll ask one by one. SC East Bengal have begun to get wins. Can you see the side getting stronger now? This is from Sky Sports.
Again, it's one of them things that we've always tried to progress. We've always tried to grow as a team this year. I think it's fairly evident that we had a bit of a tough start, and we all know the reasons why. But yeah, I think we are starting to look a little bit fitter. We're starting to sort of grow into games, and I think we look probably a more rounded team than what we have done at the start. So yeah, it just credit to the boys, certainly the lads who've come in. And obviously starting to take on board, what we're trying to get across, and we do look better for it. But there's a long way to go. We can't rest. We've got to keep going. We've got to keep progressing, and we've got to keep trying to get the results that we want.
Gava, the second one is from the Times of India. As you begin the second phase of the campaign and coming into Friday's game with a 5-match unbeaten run, do you think your project at the club has finally been able to put the foot on the pedal?
I think we've started something. I've just said before that the last question, it was a case of we knew what we were getting into, we knew what we had to do, and it was just a case of trying to implement that maybe a lot quicker than what we probably envisaged. We're in a good place at the minute, but we've got to continue. We've got to continue where we're going. There is plenty of points to play for. There's plenty of tough games coming up, and we know that teams will win games, teams will lose games this year. So it's all about us and how we approach games. What we do to try and sort of combat the opposition, what we do to remedy ourselves. But look, at the minute we're in a good place, and look, of course we're not getting carried away. We're on a good little run at the minute. And when people were quick to criticise at the start, we weren't getting too carried away. And likewise, because we're on a good little run now, we know that there's still plenty of hard work. There's plenty of hard work that we will be continuing to do. And what I will say now is, we do look a more confident team. We do look a more settled team, if you like. And yeah, we're in a good space, but we need to keep it going. We need to keep growing. We need to keep continuing doing what we're doing. And so far, it is progressed what we wanted at the start. And it's just a case of let's keep doing what we need to do.
Gava, the third one is from Goal.com. Both SC East Bengal and Kerala Blasters are on the ascendancy. Are you expecting tough competition from Kerala tomorrow?
I think we've expected every single game, regardless of the opposition. I think we go into every game believing, that we can get the right result, and that is just our ethos and our mentality. We have confidence in ourselves, and we'll do that anyway. We do that. Likewise, there's going to be Kerala. There's other teams who are in rich veins of forms as well. Teams who are maybe not in rich veins of form. So. No games are easy, but you've got to go out there, you've got to work hard, you've got to try and earn that right to try and get the victory, and that's what we've been doing. Look, there's going to be times throughout the season when we don't play well and we'll get results, but that's the funny thing with football. But as long as you keep working and keep growing, like we keep saying, then we can't have any complaints, and that's what every football game is about. We'll go out there and we'll work on the opposition. But we also want to do a lot of incredible good work on ourselves, and I think that's what we have been doing.
Gaffer, this one is from ABP Anando. What's the latest on Anthony Pilkington?
Yeah, Pilks is obviously he's better. He's whether he's obviously fit to play. We're not really too sure just yet, but he won't be too far away. He's obviously had a knock, and likewise with Pilks, he's played a lot of minutes and a lot of games, and even probably when he wasn't 100%, he wanted to do very well for the club. He wanted to do well for all his teammates, and I applaud him for that. But I think from day one, since we've been at this club, Pilks has been outstanding. He's been a real standout player, and he loves playing for the club. He loves playing. He loves putting in a shift. He loves working hard. So sometimes we have to rein him in, and we have to tell him to be careful, because obviously we want him to be ready for the long term. So if it means missing out a few matches, then so be it. But the important thing is that he will be back soon. Hopefully it's pretty quick, and he'll be back playing and hopefully scoring goals for us pretty soon.
Gaffer, this one is from Uttar Bongo Sangbad. If you had Bright Enobakhare from the start of the season, would the team be better placed at the halfway stage?
Yeah, well, it's a loaded question. I think obviously when you are a team and you've not got the results you want, and someone comes in and does remarkably well, scores great goals, then of course them questions will be getting asked. And let's be honest, he's a great player. So whenever you are a great player coming into a side, of course you're going to make them better. So if he was here at the start of the season, I think it's fairly obvious. Great players make games. Great players score goals. Great players make good players better around them. So of course, yeah. Look, if we'd had him at the start of the season, of course we would like to think, but it's just irrelevant because he wasn't here. We played with what we got, which was obviously we worked as hard as we could. But he's here now. He's enjoying his football. He's a great lad to be around. The lads love him, and more importantly, I think the lads are playing well under him as well. That's what we want.
Gaffer, the final two questions. This one is from ABP. As you approach the second leg, is there a target you have in mind?
No. Look, we have a target ourselves, which obviously we want to hit, and hopefully we'll be doing that. But obviously it's not for me to go out there on record and say, because I don't want to let our team down, don't want to let our fans down in case we don't reach them targets. But of course, I think whenever you do go into a season, whenever you go into a game, you have the targets, and obviously you want to try and match them. And all we need to do is keep doing what we're doing. Keep playing as well as what we can, keep competing in games. Look, we've done that. We've done that from the start of the season, regardless of what people think about the results. Early in the season, they wasn't favourable for us, but we were actually playing okay. I think we've proved we can compete. We've proved that we can play, against some of the good teams in this league, and that's what we want to continue. So obviously the target is the next game. The target is to try and win the next game. Then obviously when that game's over, we'll try and win the next game. So the short-term target is to take each game as it comes. I know it's a massively cliched answer, but I think in football, I think you have got to be ready for what's about to come, and and the challenges that are waiting, and we're ready and waiting.
Gaffer, the final one is from Sky Sports. On a different note, how big is this game between Liverpool and Man United, with both sides at the top of the Premier League table again? And what is your best memory of the one you played in?
I've got loads of memories playing for Liverpool, certainly against Man United. I've got loads of memories of playing for City against United as well, scoring goals. But I think me being a Liverpool lad, I think this was probably one of the games that you do look out for in the season. And obviously when you win them, it can make your whole week. It's massively important, certainly for Liverpool now, because obviously they find themselves a little bit behind in the table, and they don't want to get further behind. So I think they'll go into this game quietly confident. They're not playing unbelievable good stuff at the minute, but they're there or thereabouts at the minute. And knowing that if you do get this right result, then puts them in such a good space and a good place, and ready to and ready to go on from there. So huge game, we know it is. Obviously I've got many games, as I've said, where I can talk, but they all seem to be games which have scored. I have been quite lucky enough to score against Manchester United, and it means a lot to certainly me as a player. But the big thing is the fans will go into this game, obviously albeit on a television, and they'll want their team to do incredibly well. Liverpool fans have always been like that. Whether at the stadium, whether at the sat at home watching the television, it's a massive game, and I think Jurgen will be first to tell you that. He probably missed the supporters, certainly at the game. But look, they'll give it everything. They will do. We know how big it is. It's a massive game. It's probably bigger for Liverpool, in all fairness, because obviously the situation where obviously the clubs find themselves in. And look, I'm a Liverpool man, so Liverpool are going to win the game.
Thanks for your time, Gaffer.
Thank you.